Welcome back, guys. Spoiler review of the brand new episode 9 of The Bad Batch. My name is Master, and before we get in my spoiler breakdown and thoughts of the episode, please like the video, guys. It's the best way to support this channel. Also, please comment down below your spoiler thoughts of this past week's episode of The Bad Batch. Favorite, least favorite, where's it ranked for you so far in the show? And are you excited for 7 more brand new episodes, or 6 or 7 more brand new episodes of the show? Also, please consider subscribing and ringing that bell for notifications. I do movie reviews, TV shows reviews like these, movie platform reviews, movie ranking reviews, and also a breakdown show of the box office. Let's get into my review now of The Bad Batch. So again, the last 2 weeks have been really fantastic, and for me, this really does add on to what the show is really building to. It felt like through episodes, I would say 2 through maybe 5, 2 through 5 for the most part, maybe even 2 through 6. It very much felt like filler. Let's go to a planet, let's do a side quest, and then let's get out of here and move on to the next episode. Now it feels like we're really progressing the main story, which is the Bad Batch, Omega, and the bounty hunters going after Omega. And not just the bounty hunters, we also have the Empire with Crosshair. So the opening scene, they escape Crosshair in the opening scene. Then we cut back, and Cad Bane is, again, based off last episode, is holding Omega captive in his ship, delivering them to the Kaminoans, which is really key because obviously it seems like she is a first blood, pure relative of the Jango Fett blood. Her and Boba Fett are basically a one of a kind, and that is why she is attracted to all these different bounty hunters and the Kaminoans. And Tech explains that to the group that only her and Boba Fett are one of two, they're both two of the single pure DNA of Jango Fett. So they're very important, especially Omega, who's a female clone, the only female clone at least known in the galaxy. So this really opened up the show, especially why the Kaminoans are after her and why we see Fennec and the person who Fennec is working for as well. So this episode, it is Todo, who's voiced by Seth Green, who works with Cad Bane. The whole episode really begins when he lets Omega out of the prison to possibly help his leg because it got shot off last week, and that turns into Omega escaping using the comm device that was given to her by the Bad Batch, trying to communicate with the Bad Batch, and the Bad Batch then go after Omega. At the same time, we're on, if I'm not mistaken, Cloud City. It really did look like Cloud City. If not, totally let me know in the comment section where the planet was. Or even if Carter, if you're watching this through the edit, let me know what planet you believe it's from as well. But I do think that overall it was a really fun episode, seeing Omega escape her versus Cad Bane. Then we saw Fennec, and I was kind of wondering last week, will we ever see Fennec and Cad Bane on the same screen together in a scene? And this episode brought it to life. I didn't know that fast. We had a Fennec versus Cad Bane. Was really one of the main aspects of the show, is that Cad Bane is working for really the entire Kaminoan, and then the one Kaminoan who seems like let the Bad Batch escape in episode 1. She is the one who hired Fennec to go after Omega. So we have a nice battle between Fennec and Omega. Fennec and Cad Bane. We have Fennec, who took the money from the Kaminoan who she killed on the way in. And then that explodes as Todo was trying to leave with it. So then it becomes a fist fight between Cad Bane and Fennec going after Omega. They each have their own little scene with Omega. Omega escapes with the Bad Batches. Again, Cad Bane and Fennec continue to go after her. So again, this episode really brings to life how important Omega is on a major scale. We get the Empire with Crosshair going after her in the first 5 minutes of the episode. And then really for the rest of the episode, it's Cad Bane and Fennec, who are two of the best bounty hunters ever in Star Wars. Cad Bane, obviously a very famous character in Clone Wars. Fennec, a very famous character now from The Mandalorian. And it's interesting that Fennec does get involved with both of these two really rare clones. Obviously, she worked hand in hand with Boba Fett in season 2 of The Mandalorian, but we see here in the first season of Bad Batch how she is now tracking Omega. So she really is becoming clearly familiar with both of these two very rare clones in the galaxy, which I think is a really interesting thing with her character, maybe why she can even trust Boba Fett. And again, I think that having both these really highly skilled, highly talented bounty hunters go after Omega just raises the stakes on how crucial she is. They're not just throwing random stormtroopers at her. They're not just throwing random clones at her, like clones from the Republic. These are top tier bounty hunters that are going after her, while the Empire itself is going after her as well. So you have you have two bounty hunters, highly touted bounty hunters, and you have the Empire itself going after her, which really raises the stake for Omega and the Bad Batch itself. As we end the episode with Hunter telling Omega that he'll promise that she'll never be back on Kamino. And I just can't wait to see the twists and turns of the show. Obviously, now she is now back with the Bad Batch. Are Bane, are they all on their tail? I really can't wait to see. There seems like a lot more reveals. Will Rex come back? The show for me is just raising the stakes by putting in high tier characters going after our main characters, which really raises the stakes of the show. So I'm really loving it. The past 3 weeks have really been fantastic, and I'm just really am loving the show. So that's my breakdown, spoiler fashion, of the Bad Batch. Again, it's only a quick episode, so I don't go too deeply. It's only 25 minutes. There's only so much to break down. But guys, please consider liking the video, subscribing, ringing the bell, commenting, and sharing this video. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next week for episode 10 of The Bad Batch.